a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
And welcome back. Hot Talk Behind the Mic. Tonight, I have the pleasure of talking to one of the members of the film industry that you may not know, but who is responsible for bringing a lot of our stories to the screen and hopefully getting us off the plantation for a while. Mr. Jon Gibson.
Hey, Miss Jill.
How are you?
I'm blessed, my sister.
Advisor of Diversity and Inclusion at the Motion Picture Association of America. And, I joke because I interviewed Lala Anthony and Michael Ealy. And they were doing on the press junket for Think Like a Man.
Uh-huh.
Luke 12 Years a Slave was hot right then. And I said, but will we get off the plantation? Will we be able to have a year of film where we don't have to be on a plantation and win an award?
Yeah.
Well, there's that.
Well, Marvel's The Black Panther will get us,
Well, this is, yes.
Marvel, which is owned by Disney, which is one of our member studios, one of my member studios. The MPAA, besides being the face of the American film and TV industry, we specifically represent the 6 largest studios. We call them the Big Six.
Okay.
So Disney, which owns Marvel, the Black Panther is...
Okay, wait a minute. Let me go back.
Yeah.
So the Big Six. So that's very similar in radio where we have like the Big Four that like own every other studio. Is the same true in the film industry?
Well, you have the largest 6, but then you also have mid-majors that are not a part of it. Like you have Weinstein Company.
Right.
You have Lionsgate. You have Relativity. And you have Tyler Perry. Those are all separate.
So they're still independent.
Absolutely,
okay.
absolutely. So you might call them the mid-majors.
Okay.
You have Open Road Films. So
Right.
Bob Johnson has RLJ, which is doing smaller films like Blackbird, which came out last year.
Okay,
Monique's movie about dealing
yeah.
with LGBT. So yeah, but the Big Six are the big ones.
Right. You mentioned Tyler Perry in the mid majors.
I mean, Tyler has done some stuff. I mean, his studios outside of Atlanta is this is an impressive facility.
Yeah.
And he, when he partnered with Lionsgate, I mean, he was really responsible for a lot of their success for, I think, almost like a decade, a 10-year run. So
wow, there wasn't a lot of press on that.
No, it's
a lot of press that he's doing it, but not that he was really,
generating
a lot of money.
To their credit, Lionsgate has been very open and honest about that partnership. The Lionsgate team is pretty awesome, but they've recognized that they had a great partnership. So
is it like in the film industry, is it much like in radio and in fashion where there's a trend? There's television, they're like the reality trend.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that in the film industry where just one certain genre becomes really hot and everybody wants a movie like that?
Yeah. It's the same thing with television. I think it's what's hot now. Comic book movies are kind of the thing now.
Okay.
Studios are able to build tent poles around them and, merchandising.
Right.
Right. Kids love toys. So, and, the international community, people may feel a certain way about the U.S., but as a whole, they love our movies. Our movies are loved throughout the world. And so, again, the comic book movies, the action movies.
Could it get any better than Ta-Nehisi Coates writing the Black Panther? I mean, hello.
I mean, yeah. And then you have what? So you have Ryan Coogler is going to direct.
Come on now.
Chadwick Boseman's going to start. Lupita's in it. Michael B. Jordan. So you have, 4 dynamic African Americans that are going to be a part of a major studio film, which will have $100+ million budget.
Right.
And it's an action movie, and it's not a historical piece.
Right. We're in space now.
You like how I phrase that? Not a historical piece.
Yeah.
I mean, and the historical pieces are very important, like The Birth of a Nation, which is...
Well, Birth of a Nation is in it, yeah. It is in a class of its own.
It broke records this year. It sold at Sundance for
17 million?
Yeah, so... And that wasn't even the highest bid. There were bids... Couple bids for
but that was
million.
The highest bid ever at Sundance.
Absolutely. But Fox Searchlight, and I got to give credit to them, which is, again, one of our studios under the Fox umbrella. In 2013, Fox Searchlight handled 12 Years a Slave, and you saw where that went.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why Nate Parker decided to go with Fox Searchlight.
Okay.
It wasn't Best Picture.
Right.
And again, when we started getting involved with the American Black Film Festival, when I went for my very first visit in 2012, I noticed that the Big Six, my studios, weren't represented. Smaller to a degree, like Screen Gems, Columbia, TriStar are owned by Sony. But
Okay.
Sony, the parent company, wasn't represented. Fox, to a degree, but not 20th Century Fox.
Right.
Universal to a degree on the network side, the network, NBC, but not Universal Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And so we made the Senator Dodd and I made a commitment to Jeff that we would bring the studios. 2013, all 6 were there, and we did a 2-hour programming called Trailer Fest, which each studio had 20 minutes to showcase footage that hadn't been seen. That was the first time an audience saw any footage of 12 Years. Like the movie hadn't even been finished.
Wow.
It was there. So before it went to the bigger film festivals like Telluride and Toronto, the American Black Film Festival audience sat there.
Was first.
Yeah. And it was hard watching. I mean, because, I remember the N-word being said in the movie and the whole crowd was like, ooh. But again, we provided that. And, so this partnership is important, it's special. There are thousands of film festivals throughout the world. This is the only film festival that the MPAA is a partner with. The only one.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is.
As you're talking, and I think about the rooms that you're in. When you're in these meetings, does that translate to them that the reason why that movie made so much money is because so many people were able to see themselves in it?
Absolutely, and that's why you see a shift in the casting of movies coming out. You got like, say for instance, Suicide Squad, which is a Warner Brothers.
Right.
You have Viola Davis and Will Smith in it. And if you look at again with Independence Day 2, which is a Fox movie. I mean, they brought Vivica back, but you got Jesse Usher now coming in.
Yeah, I just saw the preview.
I mean, I think going forward, you're going to see in a lot of movies just a multicultural casting. It's just good business.
Did the NWA film
Straight Outta Compton
open any doors?
Oh, absolutely. I think now you're seeing the cast, they're getting all picked up on various projects. And again, that was Universal Film. Universal put their heart and soul into Straight Outta Compton. They really...
I mean, the marketing of that film was incredible.
Absolutely, and that was all Universal. So I know... So Universal was also, a little upset that the film didn't get as much of the awards buzz as it should have. But no, Universal, again, Ryan Coogler's film. I mean, about Creed. Creed was one of my favorites of the year.
And it gave Sylvester Stallone his Oscar.
It's one of
finally.
But Ryan Coogler pulled something
out of him.
Yes, but Sylvester Stallone credits him with that. Ryan Coogler, this young brother is really making some moves now.
So would you say it's easier? I interviewed Ossie Davis, God bless it did. And I remember asking him, are we at a place in Hollywood where blacks can greenlight a film? And at that time, he said, we're not even at the place where the door is yet. When you look at it, where are we?
I think things are getting much better than they were.
Mm-hmm.
I think our society as a whole, we benefit when there are a wide array of stories told.
Mm-hmm.
I think and that's one of the things that MPAA pushes with partnering with the American Black Film Festival to make sure that there are stories from diverse people, diverse cultures. Because if you look at, unfortunately, the tragedy in Orlando, that's why more LGBT stories need to be told.
Yes.
Because if then I can relate, there is so much more that connects us than separates us.
Yep.
We all have family issues regardless of color. Mm-hmm. We all have, I know you guys love this great job here, but we all have employment issues regardless of where we work. Mm-hmm. We all want best for our kids and the next generation. That is universal.
Yep.
Not, based on race or color. Yeah. So finding folks and stories to unite us is what's so important and what is so necessary. So I believe we are getting there.
Yeah.
Not there yet, but I think everybody recognizes we have a lot more to do, and we're getting, we're getting to that point.
So we could safely say we've made progress.
We made progress,
and we're getting in the room, at least in the building where the door is.
We're starting to get into the room where you have, those key people that the studios are going to, like, I need you on this.
So what's next? What's the next big thing we should be looking for?
I mean, I think next year is going to be a banner year with. Again, look at the TV. So like ABC, which has a extremely diverse slate of programming, people of color on the program. ABC is owned by Disney.
Right.
So our studios are really doing it on the television front, and the movies are following. So I think, just see an explosion of multicultural casting in your major films coming.
You're already seeing it coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome.
It's just good business.
Yeah, so now how can people, what panels are you on?
So this past
Wednesday
was the opening night of the American Black Film Festival, the 20th anniversary. So the MPAA, I am sponsoring. Warner Brothers is going to show Central Intelligence, which stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart. And then this past Friday, we had a panel of The Birth of a Nation, a first look. Mm-hmm. This is a new programming series that the ABFF is doing in partnership with us. You have Nate Parker, Aja Naomi Wood, and you have Gabrielle Union to talk about the film and to give some first looks.
Incredible.
Later that afternoon, we had Universal presenting Almost Christmas, which is their holiday feature with Will Packer, David Talbert, and again, Gabrielle Union, who's not only starring, but executive producing. So 3 events, 3 different studios, a first time ever at the American Black Film Festival.
Awesome. So you've had a good time in Miami. Is Miami a regular for you? No.
Miami, I have
Or
actually
just
family that moved down here, and I've been coming
good.
back and forth to Miami since I think the late 90s.
Oh, okay. So then next time you're here, we'll have to have a kiki and a cocktail.
Absolutely. And dinner.
Awesome.
Dinner.
There you go. Now this is a man after my own
Absolutely.
heart. Jon Gibson, thank you so much for coming behind the mic here on Hot Talk. I'll be back after this break.